No, I think that's it for the time being because, like I said, it's all very seamless. One just blends into another. All of the areas of activity are interactive. Whether you're talking about economics, you're talking about education. That's the next area of activity. Economics is number one, education is number two, as I have in the book. But economics and education both go together. Maximum emergency compensatory action. Nobody is harmed in any way except people who should be harmed, and that is racists or suspected racists. And this is determined by the person who commits the act. It's a special type of war. It's not like it's a counter-war, rather, supposed to be. It's not the absence of war. It's a form of war, but it's counter-war, because counter-war is directed against racism exclusively and against people who actually practice racism, because it's very specific. Not only that, that's what I mean. I want to use that word specific over and over again, as it is written in the textbook for victims of white supremacy. It's exact, and so exact that I'm not even allowed by compensatory law, what I've written in the book. I'm not allowed to compare it with anything. And the act itself is exact, and no one is harmed, either directly or indirectly, in that act, except a person who is an active white supremacist or a white supremacist suspect. And the only other person who is harmed is the person who made the decision that these white supremacists should be harmed, because that person absolutely must terminate him or herself. Now, that's a description. I'm only allowed to describe what maximum emergency compensatory action is and what maximum emergency compensatory action for justice is not. I'm not allowed to, by law, compensatory law, to compare it with anything or even discuss it in comparison with anything, because in essence is to de-glamorize the whole business of killing worldwide. That's the ultimate goal of it. Killing will continue and should continue. Some people should be dead. They really should. But if you're talking about counter-racism and killing, this is the way it should be done. And people who are the cause of the problems and who won't stop, you can't talk to them. But nobody's to make that determination except an individual. See, I can't make that determination. When people ask me, do I believe in maximum emergency compensatory action or maximum emergency compensatory action for justice, I say no. And the evidence is I haven't done it. It's only the person that does it. That person is dealing with what you call death. The difference between existence and non-existence. That should be taken seriously by everybody on the planet. The white supremacists has made a joke out of death. And all of their victims, black people, make jokes out of killing people. This has got to stop. Killing people is serious business. The most serious business that you can take. When somebody dies, that is a serious situation, particularly when the person didn't have to die. The person came out of somebody's womb. That person should be nurtured to its fullest glory, meaning doing constructive things. The best way to stop it is by repeatedly having people kill people who also kill themselves, so that at some point people say, this is